Third part. Hey, hey. And the voice that echoed from the darkness grew nearer as Dee and his companions advanced. What the hell is that? Said Pick, turning a sharp eye in that direction. Having been through worse trouble than most adults, the boy had a pistol in his right hand. Dee halted his steed, and the other two followed his example. "Who's there?" inquired Dee. After a sufficient gap, from about 30 yards came the reply. "A traveler. Only I've hurt my leg and can't walk." "Really? Sounds mighty suspicious." Pick jeered. "How'd you get injured? And where were you headed?" "My horse got attacked by a desert snake and bolted, and that's when I got thrown. My right knee is all smashed up." "What about your horse?" "Run off." "Just when was all this?" "Been here since noon." "You're just a kid, aren't you?" "Yeah." "That's the word around town?" "When did it happen?" This time Dee asked. His voice was shot through with steel rebar. "Just a little while ago," I said. "I'm begging you, take me as far as the town of Pico." "You'll slow us down," Dee said matter-of-factly. Pick nodded. He appeared to share the hunter's indifference toward other people. That's right. You'll be rewarded for your trouble." "Well, that's a different matter, then," Pick said, wholly unlike Dee in the way he now grinned from ear to ear. "We don't have a horse for you. Give it 2 or 3 days. And someone should pass this way." "Hey, that's mighty cold of you. I thought the rule of the road was that in times of trouble, we're supposed to help one another." The man's voice was tinged with anger. "Well, we're in a hurry." Dee started forward again. "Please wait. There's a hydra lair around here. Hell, it'll swallow me whole. Please, you've got to help me." "Wait, Dee," said Annette. Maybe she didn't like traveling through the night. Or perhaps she'd just held her tongue this long. But as if she'd finally had enough, she told him, "I'm ordering you as your employer. You're to allow this person to accompany us. He might be the enemy." "That's preposterous. You mean to say they've already caught up to us?" "That couldn't possibly be the case. If they have, it's through an error in judgment on your part. I'll discharge you on the spot." Dee's next words made Annette go pale. "Wise call. Well, I'll be on my way then." "Wait." The voice sounded flustered. "There's only the 3 of you. If you pull out now, a woman and child won't be able to do much. And I'm in tough shape, too." "Please just patch things up and take me with you. And I've got a wife and kids waiting back home for me." The voice had become a whimper. "Got any weapons?" Dee inquired. Just a knife. The rest were on my horse when it—" "In that case, toss it over here. And then you can ride on the kid's horse." "Thanks a million. I'm much obliged." The knife promptly sailed over, sheath and all. Catching it, Dee drew the blade. And after quickly running his eyes down it, he slid it back into its sheath. "What's your name?" "They call me Hiryu. Pleased to meet you." The 3 riders advanced. The voice belonged to a short man who was terribly skinny. He was also rather young. What's with this joker? Looks like a strong wind would blow him away, Pick remarked without reservation. With a wry grin, the man conceded he was right. He got on behind Pick, and soon after they galloped forward, he said with interest, "So you're in a hurry? And with a motley crew like this, you folks sure must be mixed up in something." "Shut your trap, and don't be so quick to shoot your mouth off after we went and saved you," Pick snarled. He didn't like having to ride double. And it was even worse that he had a guy wrapping his arms around his waist. And the boy was just beginning to wonder if they'd be able to ditch him somewhere when Dee's left hand went up. Something came down from overhead with flapping wings to land on the back of his hand. Pick recognized it as a hawk. He could see pretty well in the dark, and the moon was also bright. Racing along beside the boy, Annette asked, "What's that?" "It's a messenger hawk." "Huh. He told me it died." "He must have bought another one. That bastard keeps a lot of secrets, don't he?" "He sure does." As the two of them glared at Dee, who rode on ahead, the man calling himself her you watched them with a look of special interest. "No fair sidetracking." It was the hoarse voice. Her you's eyes bugged. Dee didn't even turn around. Pick and Annette looked at each other. Dee deviating from the set route was beyond surprising. It was downright mysterious. He wasn't supposed to be like that. "Where are you going?" The voice inquired with trepidation. "Decosil Valley. I have to meet someone." "Pretty dangerous place, that. Home to monsters." "All the more reason to go there." "What?" "I don't want to go to any such place. Explain yourself," cried Annette. "What? Are you stupid?" The hoarse voice sneered. "He said he has to meet someone. Someone who's indispensable for keeping the lot of you safe." Page break. The world of early morning was clear but lacking in verisimilitude, as if it were being viewed through a glass. And the narrow road the three horses took, as well as the boulder and cliffs to either side, looked somehow cold and distant. For the world's life had only just begun. "I wonder why we're going this way," Annette said loudly enough, so she'd be overheard as she eyed the boulders to either side. From up top any wild animal could. With a gasp, her voice retreated down her throat. At the very top of the enormous boulder to their left, a dull yellow creature covered with needle-like spines had appeared. A bass growl reached the ears of all present. "Son of a—" Pick exclaimed, reaching for the pistol on his hip. "Don't." Dee's quiet command stopped him. "Why not? That thing's—" As the beast braced itself to pounce, Pick cocked the hammer of his gun. Even after the beast fell from the rock in the same pose, he kept the weapon's muzzle trained on it. Intently watching what were clearly the beast's death throes, he said, "It's been shot." "That's an armored needleback. Look. It's missing the needles on part of its neck and back. Must have got off an attack of its own. In concentration, their needles can shatter rock, so even professional huntsmen go after them from long range with rifles. And that's probably what killed this one. It was no ordinary gun, said Hiryu. What makes you say that? From the look of the blood. It looks to have just been shot. But did any of you hear any gunfire? Come to mention it, no. Pick snorted. But that wound ain't from no arrow or crossbow, not even a sword. I can't see it being anything but a gunshot. Say, is there any such thing as a firearm that don't make any noise? There are, if you count the nobility's weapons. The horse voice's reply sounded terribly distant. The internet horses had already started forward. Chapter 3, End.